Do you have what it takes to be exceptional? That's what we're covering in today's video. I want to start off with definitions because definitions are my favorite thing to do. So, to be exceptional, by definition, you have to be the exception. You can't be typical. That means you can't really be another one of the sheep in the herd. You have to be the lone wolf. This means you can't be like everyone else. You can't think like everyone else, and you can't behave like everyone else. Because if you do, you're gonna get the typical result. So you have to be the black sheep that doesn't fit in and lean into it. Be the lone wolf for the time being. You'll get to those circles where you actually do fit in later, but right now you have to pay the price for not being one of the sheep. So don't put on your sheep outfit, just be the lone wolf. If you're anything like me, you want to be a lone wolf, right? Like you want to have an exceptional life. You want to have a high degree of freedom. You want to not be a 9-to-5er, and the list goes on. And therefore, newsflash, you can't do what everyone else does or else you're going to get the same exact result. Me and you, we have to think differently and we have to behave differently. They say work-life balance. And you know what? For us, that's not the case. Guess what? You want to have the freedom that comes along with having your own business? You have to wave it goodbye. Adios, work-life balance. At least for the time being, guys. Y'all, your friends, they're going to hit you up on iMessage, be like, yo, I'm going to the Bad Bunny concert. And you know what you got to do? You got to be like, hey, no thanks. Because you know what? I got work to do. I got my future to go manifest, essentially, right? You have to put in the work to bring that future into reality, and therefore you're going to have to sacrifice the present moment. You're going to have to grit your teeth to write that next page, publish the next video, I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to have to, more than likely than not, most of the time, do the thing that you don't want to do. You're going to have to engage in delayed gratification rather than short-term pleasure. And you know what? You're going to have to wait potentially years for this to come to fruition. And guess what? It might not even happen. The work that I'm putting in for this YouTube channel, it might not work. But you know what? I'm going to have to keep pumping out video after video, year after year, because you know what? I've reflected on the paths that I can take in life. And for me, there is no other option because I see my future being a particular way and I have to put in the necessary inputs. And I rather never make it and continuously push to make that future a reality than, live the typical life. And you have to be really honest with yourself. Is this seriously something you're willing to do? A lot of you, including the past version of me, we were addicted to thinking about our dream future. We constantly imagine the life that we want to live, right? But newsflash, y'all, watching another video, continuously trying to think about your future and bringing it into the reality and living in it in your head, that's not getting you any closer. And days are passing you by. More likely than not, you're still super far behind in life and you're not actually close to making that a reality. And if you continue to just imagine it in your head or watching more self-help content, you're not going to get there. So I need you to sit with this question in mind. Are you willing to make the sacrifices to eventually potentially get there? Or are you more in love with the idea and dream of your future rather than the reality? And after the reflection, if you decide that, I'm not willing to put in that level of grit and sacrifice to make those future dreams a reality, that's perfectly fine. We live in this YouTube bubble where it's entrepreneurship is so sexy and exhilarating and novel, right? And some people are in love with the idea of it and the potential future it brings, but not with the actual reality of the sweat, blood, and tears and sacrifice and potential the potentiality of it not actually working out. There's nothing wrong with wanting to live a normal life. But if you, like me, come to the decision that there's no other option, then my friends, you need to wake up because you're not getting there if you're not sacrificing. You need to figure out a way to love discomfort and not knowing and dealing with uncertainty. All right, gentlemen, I hope this was a wake-up call for those of you that are choosing the path of the lone wolf. And I will see you guys next week. And remember, stay mercifully relentless. Peace.